is up, Dream Team? Today we're in beautiful LA. So we're still not gonna skip on our push-ups. So let's get it. We gotta do them quick because we're not alone here.
I guess now 18 months ago. Before that, I was kind of silent on social media by and large. And it was actually an interview that you had done with Brad Lee, where you said there's this huge vacuum on YouTube with regards to, like, I think you said, like, higher level business stuff, where people who were business people but not YouTube influencers who made their money, doing YouTube stuff, but made their money elsewhere and could apply those principles. And I think you had said something to the extent of, like, it doesn't need to be dolled up. It's basically what you're saying. Where, like, at the end of the day, if the content is good enough or valuable enough to the audience, there's a big audience for it that's not being served. And so that was actually one of the two or three things that pushed me over the edge to start making content. So I'll thank you for that, because that was one of the podcasts that really made me take a big step towards deciding to do it.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad that helped. It's a small world. And listen, a lot of people then who look like you, who've had a lot of success in the business world, then come to make YouTube content, they're off building 7-figure studios. Like, I've helped a lot of these guys get their channels launched, and they won't do it until it's perfect and they have a 7-figure like home studio, spending 6 figures just on this one arm to move a camera around, like legit. And they're too afraid to get started because they've hit success in one field, and now they're coming to something new, and they don't want to get started looking bad from scratch. You, on the other hand, not that you look bad, but it's like it's you. Like, this is Alex is gonna show up, is gonna share his wisdom. And so how did you just never care? Or how did you get over that hurdle? It's like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it.
We're big fans of imperfect action. And I think that we're also, at least I'm a big student of, you learn through doing, not through preparing to do. Because I think a lot of times you learn as you're doing. What things you thought were important at the onset are significantly less important.
Flip mode.
So it's like, I think the thumbnails and the headlines in the first 20 seconds matter a lot more than spending an hour trying to write it. You know what I mean? And so it's just like return on time and effort. And so, yeah. So, I mean, if we want to learn something new, at least in the companies that we have, it's like we just start doing. We pull the thread that we can see, and we just keep pulling and figure it out as we go. And I think we end up getting to where we're trying to go faster. Just through giving ourselves permission to suck.
I love it. Now, I've helped a lot of people kind of move from direct marketing world into YouTube land, and almost immediately it's, okay, how do I get them in my free ebook and click and funnel them and retarget them and sell my coaching and upsell all this? Because it's like, that's just part of the ingrained mindset of direct marketing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of waiting for the shoe to drop with Alex. Okay, where's Alex's thing? And just video after video after video, it's not there. Why isn't it there? Because in your gym business, you did it all yourself, and then you taught the trainings. Like, I don't want to do this. I mean, I'll teach you how to do it. Why did this not become, I'll teach you how to do this too?
I think my view of business has shifted over time, and so I think that if you have a longer time horizon and you have capital, or if you don't need the money from whatever promotion you're doing, I think that goodwill compounds faster than revenue. And so I think what you said is a really perfect example of, like, I think a lot of people are always waiting for the other shoe to drop if people are receiving value. And so right at that point,
we're in LA and it's super hot. Now I'm in my sweatpants, and I'd love to get down to my boxers, but I won't, because you guys gotta pay me for that.
And so I think that's where you get, like, an additional component of virality to stuff, and I think it depends on the mission of the person. You know what I mean? Like, this is not how I make my money at all. And so, and a lot of this stems from a rather contrarian worldview that I have, which is just like, I don't think any of the things that we do will amount to anything in the long term. And so the things that I enjoy, that I deem meaningful, are helping other entrepreneurs get started, because I know that I was in a very dark place when I started. If the lessons that I have that cause me pain can help someone else, then they won't have been doing overall. And so that's kind of the catalyst behind doing other stuff to begin with. But the reason I don't say that is partially for goodwill, partially because I don't want to create a business around this. Now we do. I mean, obviously we have our portfolio. So if somebody has a company that's doing 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 40 million a year, and they want help, and they found out of the stuff, then yeah, we'd love to, but we're fine not selling. That's a slightly different conversation, but it's a different way of doing it than an old business model, to be honest. Like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, having in the private equity world too, it's like creating what they call proprietary deal flow is a very valuable thing. And so I think Naval Ravikant also said one of the best ways to monetize a brand is to monetize off like the 0.0001%. Like if you just got shares in Facebook early on, you could do everything else you want in life for free and help everybody rather than trying to sell something to everyone. And there's just different strategies overall. It's just for me, I also prefer and feel like I can provide the most value to a business that's very big and growing. And to everyone else, it's like I can help more people without introducing operational complexity or loss of goodwill by just providing the stuff.
That's 80, baby.
So you go from in your late teens and early 20s, kind of living your dad's life, going to school, being a management consultant, the whole kind of Iranian work ethic, become a doctor, all that stuff. And then at 22, you decide, no, she said, I'm not doing this. And your dad feels you're making this giant mistake. But then what I loved about that story is that he comes back and gives you his only ever apology to you for saying it was a mistake. What did you have to do to then ultimately make him proud that he apologized to you?
Well, I mean, there's probably language to this. I mean, everyone's relationship with their parents are different. But for me, at least my dad, he was very much a material success guy. Like every time he introduced somebody, like before he got in the car, after he got in the car, he'd go, "This is so and so, this is how much money he makes." Right? And so it was very clear, whether he said it consciously or unconsciously, like that money was what to him is what was most respectable about someone. He would probably not like to be saying that, but not through his words, but through his actions, it became clear that that is what he valued. And so for me to do the affirmation or the approval of my father, I had to make money. But he also has his, his own ego and his own pride and whatnot. And so it couldn't be like I just have to match the amount of money that he makes. It's like I could make more money than he ever made in his entire life. For that to really solidify. And we're both pretty domineering personalities. And so there was like a 5-year period where we didn't talk too much. I think there had to be a power shift that had to occur. And it only really occurred when the evidence was overwhelming. And so like when I started making money, I think the first year that I made like $10 million, he was like, we'll see how long it lasts. Like it wasn't, you know what I mean? So like,
you guys got a sneak peek, but you gotta hit like.
It had to be so insurmountable
Hit like.
that it was undeniable.
And subscribe.
That's also been a theme that I.
All right, 50 squats, baby.
Of my life is that just for my own insecurities, I
1,
wanted to create,
2,
different pillars of my life that would be successful, quote, like beyond reproach. So that no one can say like, well, this is in good shape. It's like, no, he's in such crazy shape that no one can say that he's overweight, right? Or he's not just like doing okay, but he's making so much money that no one can say that he's not successful. I think honestly that's just because of my own insecurities. I don't think that's a testament to anything besides that. And I managed to harbor those, and I just have evidence that allows me to function, better. Live a more normal lifestyle rather than continue to suffer from those, just because that evidence has to be crushed against the insecurities that I have. So. Hopefully that makes some sense.
Well, so I've got a fun exercise that I wanted to, as soon as I found out you're coming on, I was like, okay, here's what I want to ask Alex. Talking about growth, and most people watching in my honest answer probably in the early stage, similar to like I'm even just I'm getting started to get started. But you've also focused on a lot of the high-end strategies as well as what you did to actually grow. So I'm wondering, from your first 10,000 to then and not just you, like maybe prescriptive advice. And then let's add a 0 each time. So 10,000 to 100,000, a million. Like, what's the mindset shift that I have to go by adding a 0 to my revenue every step of the long way so I don't get stuck?
It's a really good question. So when you're adding zeros, you're adding an order of magnitude, right? So it's a multiple, 10 that's happening with each of those scenarios. And the only way you can really add an order of magnitude is not by doing 10 times more work, but by adding leverage, right? And so we have to have leverage for the things that we do. And so in the beginning, you transition from being employed to being self-employed, right? And so that's like kind of the first transition. And then your limit is going to be your time and how much you can bill per hour, right? From there, your next level is going to be building the core team, which is usually five or so people, which is representative of departments and functions within a company, right? You'll have some element of promotion, some element of selling, some element of customer service, some element of finance, and things like that. And that is how can
That's it, Dream Team.
Your
100 push-ups while being in LA, 50 squats. You can do it too. I do it for you, I do it for me, I do it for we, the people. Let's go.